I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And that I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to center and you were playing fullback up there. And I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. And you could pick up, you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to pick you, and I running back coach things like biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 on your radio dial, the Martin Houston Show fan page on Facebook. It is a hump day edition of the Martin Houston Show. We're live and local and ready to interact with you, talking Alabama sports, as well as looking around the sports nation if you so choose. It is a beautiful Wednesday, and we're glad to have an opportunity to bring you the Martin Houston Show, the Sound of Bama Sports, your show, your team. Give us a call at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. The Taco Casa hotline is open for business, and we'd love to speak with you on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Or you can interact with us on social media through our social media outlets at Martin Houston 35 on Twitter, Martin Houston Live on Facebook. You can bring your topics to the table. Remember this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Wild Card Wednesday. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. If you got a topic, a subject you want to tweet at us, post at us, call us and bring up, we'll be glad to talk about it. If we don't get to it, you're welcome to bring it to the table. Good morning, Joe. How you doing, sir?
Oh, Martin, I'm doing great today. Having a lot of fun on a Wednesday, halfway through the week. So what more can you ask for?
Absolutely. Can't ask for much more than an opportunity. And that is exactly what we have. A lot of big news happening in the sports world. Alabama getting some love on the court, basketball court. It's just, you got to love where Nate Oates has this basketball program getting a little preseason love as well. We're going to do a little deal, no deal here in just a moment, but we have Pat who's already got the hotline burning up. So let's go ahead and get to Pat. Pat, welcome into the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, man?
Good morning, Martin.
Good morning.
But, it is unreal how much excitement Coach Saban is. He's how you say, ramped me up. And, I mean, hey, here, Coach. Oh, he is not Coach Bryant. Coach Bryant would be poor mouthing something fierce. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
No.
What are you saying?
No, man. Hey, Coach Bryant would be talking about how that we just don't know what we're gonna do. That we've got that everything is we got so much work to do that it's just we don't even know if we're gonna be able to find 2 quarterbacks to get a spring game played. It would be it's just totally different than the way that the two of them handle things.
So Saban has fooled you, is what you're saying.
Well, he's Coach Saban has got me excited
like I said, Coach Saban has fooled you, is what you're saying, right? Pat, you know that Coach Saban and Coach Bryant did the same stuff. It just wasn't recorded as much. You didn't get it. We don't have all those interviews. Great leaders are great motivators, and great motivators play unbelievable mind games in the right way, in the appropriate way. If you watch when Coach Saban has traditionally had a really, really good team, man, he would not give them much love. He would not be very. He'd be really hard on them. When he has a young, fragile team, he tells them how great they are, Pat, so that they don't lose their confidence. So let like I said, Coach Saban may have fooled you.
So you're saying he escaped? This is an old adage from goes all the way back to Irish times. He's trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
No,
right?
No. What I'm telling you is he has a really young offensive team who in some ways got their brains beat out Friday of last week. And they also had some really, really good plays and some explosive plays, and they did some things really good. And as a great leader, he chose to build their confidence. He has a quarterback who has to lead an entirely, I've said this numerous times, the spring game you will see on the offensive side of the ball, Pat, understand this. The first unit will not have a single starter in the same position that they were in last year, with the exception of Chris Owens, who was not the full-time starter. Chris Owens will be the only, because Evan Neal's going to be at left tackle. Chris Owens wasn't a starter. Mechie's out. Emil Ekiyor is out. So you're looking at a entirely new 11 players on the offensive side of the ball. Coach Saban's smart enough to know how important it is for offense to have confidence with all those moving parts having to work together. And he's taking a different approach to this team. And that is, he's going to be positive. He's going to lift them up. He's going to encourage them. He's going to tell them. I mean, when have we ever seen Nick Saban talk this positive about anybody? I saw Tua Tagovailoa play, Pat. I went to scrimmages, and when he was saying that Tua Tagovailoa is doing good, he wasn't doing good. He was doing great. He was killing people, but he wasn't gonna let that. But he needs Bryce Young to be clear and sound as a leader. So that's just my thoughts. Joe, you got any comments on that?
I think that Bryce Young's going to be the man, and Coach Saban's just kind of doing what he does with a young quarterback, a quarterback who doesn't have a lot of experience. So I don't have any worries about Bryce Young, not yet, at least.
All right, Pat.
Okay.
Pat, I'm not telling you that he's not being truthful. I'm not telling you he's not being truthful. I had a team meeting yesterday, Pat, and with some young people that was working on a project. And I had two choices. I could go in and focus on the things they did not get accomplished, or I could focus on what they had done really well. And some of the things they had done, I told them in the meeting, I said, some of the things you got to have done is an A+. Some of the things you've done is an F. Let's make sure we eliminate the F's, but let's focus on building on the A pluses. And that's what Coach Saban's doing. So this team has the potential to be really good offensively, and I think they played really well defensively in the scrimmage the other day. And because they played really well, what did he say about the defense? He said they did really good, but you're not sure how much of that is about what they saw and what they face. In other words, he's saying, I don't want the defense to get too confident because they may have been going against a struggling, young, inexperienced, not coherent offense. So Nick Saban is a mastermind, man.
Well, look, Martin, I follow recruiting very, very closely, and he's brought in, and we still got quite. I still think there's a number of pieces that will be there in the fall that are not there now that will contribute to this team, and that and then everybody say, well, they're freshmen. No, you don't get a freshman that runs a 20.1 200 meters, and it's 200 plus pounds. That just doesn't happen.
Who is that?
That holds the state records in Texas. Tomorrow week.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
the only problem is there's only 100 yards on the football field, and very seldom do you have to run that far. What did he do in that first 10 yards, Pat?
He got faster as he went.
Right, but he didn't get a chance to get that faster. Is he fast out of the blocks? Is he fast out of the blocks, Pat? What's his 10-yard split?
Fast. If you run 20.1 meters, you fast. I don't care who you are. You fast.
Well, yeah.
I mean, not 100 meters, but 200 meters.
Can he play football, Pat? Can he play football?
I think, from what I've seen with this film, he's Tarzan, man.
All right.
And look, the future is bright, man. I'm telling you.
I agree.
Crimson-colored welded shield.
I agree. The future is bright, but the future is bright on the hardwood at Alabama basketball. And that's what we.
My question is, can Coach Oates let him either come home with me or come home with you? Either one of us will feed that young man and get him from 210 pounds to 240 pounds at 7 foot tall. What we need.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll get there. They seem to have a pretty good strength program. Did you look at the way the basketball team looked physically this year versus how they looked 2 years ago? He'll put on the weight he needs to. So, all right, Pat. Thanks, man.
Y'all have a blessed day, Mr. Houston, and thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, just having a little fun with Pat this morning, y'all. When you look at Nick Saban is a mastermind at how he moves the pieces around on this football team, and this football team has the talent to be really good, but he's going to encourage where encouragement needs. He's going to correct where correction is needed, but ultimately he'll get them into the right place. You listen to the Martin Houston Show. Coming up next, we're going to have a little deal, no deal. I'm sure we'll work in some basketball. Big news, Alabama finally got the domino to fall with Mr. Bediako committing on yesterday. Big time get for Nate Oates. News about Alabama in the preseason polls, getting a lot of love there in the way too early basketball preseason polls. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about this football team. We'll talk about whatever you want. If you have a topic you want to get to, once again, you can call us on the Taco Casa hotline at 205-342-9904, and we'll be glad to get that into the conversation. Deal, no deal coming up next.
The Nissan Traffic Center. No wrecks and traffic is light on our Wednesday morning. No problems or delays around the area. Of course, if you do see conditions, just give us a call. 205-886-8886. Where are the best deals? There at Townsend Nissan, your hometown dealer. Come grab one today. I'm Captain Ray.
Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa. Quality is number one. You got to start with a good quality product, but it's got to be at a good value to the customers.
Everything is about quality.
You just can't beat the quality, taste, and value.
And it's because we take pride in providing you with the best.
Good customer service and good food, good quality.
We want to make sure that we give that to them each and every time they come and visit us.
The sense of pride that we have in the quality, the consistency of our food carries over to everything we do in the stores. That's Taco Casa.
At Northport Auto Supply, we understand there's nothing worse than a dead battery. So to keep this from happening, be sure you periodically check your batteries, including the terminals for corrosion. And if you ever need help, then come by Northport Auto Supply and let our knowledgeable professionals check your battery for free. Northport Auto Supply has the area's largest inventory of batteries in stock, and we'll even install it for you at no charge. Northport Auto Supply. Why go anywhere else?
Have you been hanging on to a bunch of old paper in your home or office? Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, the Better Business Bureau, and the Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama present Shred Day, Friday, April 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Load your paper, bring it in boxes or a container, and we will shred it for free while you wait. Shred Day is limited to paper only, no electronics, and 2 containers. Shred Day, Friday, April 9th, conveniently located in the old McFarland Mall parking lot at 900 Skyland Boulevard East in Tuscaloosa from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge, we decided to make a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. Can you hear that, puppy? If you could see this, you would melt. I mean, just the softest fur. Oh, wait, he's trying to open this box now, and oh, the box is filled with kittens. If only there was some way you could see this. Oh, what a glaring oversight.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Sky partially sunny today. The high for this afternoon around 80. For tonight, becoming cloudy. Rain and thunderstorms moving in, especially after midnight. The low at 62. Tomorrow, thunderstorms ending during the morning. Some clearing possible by afternoon. The high 77. I'm James Spain of the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 58 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Scott Smith and Sophomart Design, doing business for 17 plus years, specializing in graphic design, service, commercial printing, promotional products, advertising specialties, and so much more. Basically, any and everything you would need to advertise, promote, and grow your business. Through strong partnerships, strong customer service, and creative ideas, they'll help you market and grow your business. Give Scott a call at 205-292-4680 or email scottis@comcast.net and visit them online at sophmartdesign.com.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9. If you have a question or a comment, you're welcome to post those on chat or give us a call. We're going to have a little deal, no deal, so I'll toss it over the glass to producer and brand manager, Mr. Joe Gaither. Take it away, Joe.
Well, Martin, you just hit on it in the last segment. Alabama basketball did have a big day yesterday with the commitment of Charles Bediako, big-time center out of IMG College by way of Canada. And so deal or no deal right off the bat is a basketball question. Deal or no deal with Nate Oates reeling in the number 3 overall recruiting class for the 2021 class. Deal or no deal. Will Alabama basketball be even better next season?
I think that even if they're not better, Joe, it's going to feel like they're better because we'll be able to be a part of it, I think. As good as last season was, because there were so few fans that were able to attend, we had to kind of live through television and live through, commentators and just a different experience. I think that this team will have a chance to be better because one thing, they learned how to win this year. I think that they added a piece that they had to have. And I think if leadership and chemistry comes together, then Nate Oates is well on his way to doing something special and even improving up on last year's performance. And I'm going to say deal, Alabama basketball will be better next year than it was this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the future looks very bright for the Alabama basketball team. I want to shift gears to two draft questions as the draft is kind of getting up on us pretty soon here. Recently, in the last week or so, the San Francisco 49ers traded up for the number 3 overall draft pick, and a lot of people have speculated that Kyle Shanahan wants one Mac Jones. Deal or no deal, did the 49ers move all the way up to number 3 to make sure they can draft Mac Jones?
I think that they wanted to. First of all, they made a move to get a quarterback, in my opinion, and they may or may not go with Mac Jones, but I think they moved up just in case, Joe, because on the draft day, the Jets have the number 2 pick, correct?
Correct.
And they just recently traded their quarterback.
Correct.
Okay. So it could be 1, 2, 3 run on quarterbacks. And the 49ers, I think, was moving up to position themselves to get that third quarterback, even though they made their move before the Jets. I think they kind of had a feeling that's what the Jets were trying to do as well. So back to your original question, the fact that they showed up on pro day when other quarterbacks that are competing against Mac Jones were having pro days seems to insinuate that they wanted to get in on Mac Jones early enough to have enough time to dig and poke and evaluate, Joe. So as of pro day, I think that's what they were thinking. But with the NFL, you just never know how things may ultimately pan out. But I would say deal that was part of their thinking process in making that move. I throw it back to you. What do you think?
I've seen that take come out since they made that move, but I struggle to think that Mac Jones is going to be their pick. Nick Saban said yesterday on the Dan Patrick show that Kyle Shanahan didn't even ask him about Mac Jones. And maybe that's just Nick Saban playing the draft game. Which it very well could be. He's a pro. He's an expert.
Yeah.
But I just have a hard time thinking that they're going to move all the way up to 3 to get him. But, if you have identified your guy and if Mac Jones is the guy you think will fit your program the best, then that's what you do. You go up to number 3 and you get him and you get your guy into the system and make sure nobody else can get him. So we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Or do you move up to 3, making people think that in knowing what teams need him more than you, and maybe they have Joe say some other team that's below them has a position of need that the 49ers need, and the 49ers is making it look like we're going to take Mac Jones to try to get that deal with that team. You just never know what these NFL teams are doing when they're making moves, but I'm gonna just say I know it's not Dallas, but say Dallas has a wide receiver or a quarterback. Not a quarterback, but a DB that the 49ers really covet, and now they're trying to work out a deal to get them back in that situation so that they can get up there to get that quarterback. Sometimes they make moves to make you think they want a guy so that they can get a few more picks, even though they gave up some to get to that position. And then if they don't get it, they end up taking a guy that they really covet as well. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think Mac Jones, regardless, Joe, this time last year, if anybody had Mac Jones being a part of the first round conversation, they were a prophet and much less a top 10 conversation.
Yeah, for sure on that. I think the 49ers probably are very comfortable with whoever they can get out of the Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones camp. So I think that they moved right to that number 3 spot, and they're going to make their pick out of those 3 guys, and we'll see who they select.
All right.
Well, the next deal or no deal still involves the draft, but it goes to the Heisman Trophy winner. Martin, I don't know if you've been picking up on his momentum, but Devontae Smith has been sliding down draft boards or internet boards. We'll say that internet boards. And many people are knocking Devontae Smith based on Jamar Chase's pro day and just several other factors. Devontae Smith's weight, the fact that he stayed here for 4 years, just randomly just picking at things on Devontae Smith. Deal or no deal, Devontae Smith will slide out of the top 10 in a couple of weeks.
Whew, I think the slide may be more manufactured than reality at this point, but I do think his lack of interviewing is hurting him some. And this is what I always think back to AJ McCarron, Joe, and AJ McCarron, it was not as much about how he did in combine and stuff like that. But I remember AJ McCarron did not play in the Senior Bowl. And he had a valid reason why, and I'm not going to get into it because it's something I knew, and he potentially made the right choice because that could have been more negative. But Jimmy Garoppolo is the guy who took his place in the Senior Bowl. Okay? And in taking his place, Jimmy Garoppolo was seen by one such coach as the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. Many thought that may be somewhere that AJ could go before the draft, but they ended up taking Garoppolo. I don't think that what's his name falls because of what he's done. My thing with Devontae is, will there be anybody else that jumps in front of him? You know, see, we say, man, you can see the film on Devontae. Yes, you can. And it's obvious Devontae Smith can play at a high level. It's obvious Devontae Smith is a big-time player and a Heisman Trophy winner. But if he has questions, Joe, and then someone else comes in and they don't have those questions, and you look at their film and go, oh, my God, this guy's big time. And that's what's happening with Chase out of LSU. He's bigger. He has the weight issue concern. He doesn't have the finger question looming. He's running. He's showing. And he's doing. He's interviewing, Joe. Now, will he fall out of the top 10? I don't know about that. I would be shocked by that. But you know, it's possible that he could fall in the draft and not be the first overall, even though he rated to number one wide receiver. He may not be the first guy off the board because Chase is answering all the questions and doing all the interviews. But just as quickly as I say all of that, Joe, Devontae could weigh in at 170-ish, answer all the questions on his finger, and be right back where he was. Thoughts?
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
I certainly agree with you. I think that a lot of it is just internet talking season, and people teams try to throw out negative stuff all the time to get prospects to slide down to them, and so you never really know what to believe.
If you're sitting at number 11 through 15, what would you be doing?
Oh, you're lying your butt off. He's too skinny. He's too slow.
Oh my God! I can't believe you're going to waste a pick on that guy in your top 10 pick. Devontae Smith wouldn't be no top 10 pick. What are you guys thinking? I mean, that's so you have to realize that is truly some of it. Go ahead, I cut you off.
No, I think that you're spot on. I think that the Dolphins moving back to I think they ended up settling at 6. The Dolphins at 6, I think, is going to be a real interesting spot to see what they do. If they take Jamar Chase, then you could see Devontae Smith slide out of that top 10. But I think the Dolphins and the Eagles really are looking for premier receivers, and I think that both those teams are probably playing a little bit of a game with one another and the rest of the league to try to get the right guy to slide to them.
Absolutely. Did you have any more questions for me, or was that it?
I'll wrap it up with one more based on this Alabama team, the team that's in spring practice at the moment. You and Pat talked about Coach Saban and the way he's been addressing Bryce Young. I would ask, deal or no deal, Coach Saban has been praising Bryce Young because maybe he's concerned about the backup quarterback, the quarterbacks that are behind him.
I think it's a combination of the two. I think he wants to make sure that the psyche of his starter, Joe, is absolutely solid. I think so. I think it's as much about making sure that the psyche is solid on Bryce Young as it is anything else. But if you think about it, he actually throws some praise at the other two guys as well. I mean, think about what he's done. He's talked about Paul Tyson has improved. He even said, Joe, after one or two practices, I can't remember which one it was, he even said that they may find a role for the freshmen. I'm like, what? Nick Saban is talking about finding a role for a freshman quarterback 2 practices in. That's why I say I think he is working really strong, Joe, overall, because he's worried about the psyche of this entire offensive team and making sure that it's not too fragile. So I would say deal that he is definitely working to build the psyche of Bryce Young. I would say no deal on why he's doing it. I think he's doing it because he has 3 quarterbacks that all need strong psyche, and he's working on all 3 at the same time. So, all right. You got any comments on that?
Well, I'd rather it be the way that you said it, that he's building their psyche and he doesn't have concern. So we'll stick with what you got right there. I like your confidence in the team.
You like my response a little better. All right. That wraps up.
Positivity is the way to go.
Yeah, I think he really has been totally positive because this team is so young, and he's just trying to make sure that he keeps them all intact. So that wraps up Deal No Deal. We welcome you to be a part of Deal No Deal Wildcard Wednesday. We love to hear from you right here on the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama Sports, your show, your team, where we engage with you, the listeners, as much as possible. Thank you for being a part of it. Coming back on the other side, we'll have one more quarter sports talk, and then we'll end the show with some Christian encouragement from Scotty Hollins of Blueprint Ministries, presented by Johnson & Marshall Dentistry.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, we got a wreck on US 11 southbound before Alabama 215 at Cottondale. You can expect some delays. No other problems? If you do see conditions, just give us a call. 205-886-8886. Where are the best deals? There at Townsend Nissan, your hometown dealer. Come grab one today. I'm Captain Ray.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, Overflow Express Wash. Their mission is to provide great customer service with a showroom clean car and an exceptional customer service experience. They have the basic car wash that starts at $7, but you need to check out the premium wash packages, which start as low as $12 and go up to $20. They also have a membership wash club that you can get for starting at $23.99, going up to $39.99. In other words, just double the regular premium package, drop a penny, and you can be one of the great members of Overflow Express Wash. My family and I keep our cars looking good inside and out by using Overflow Express Wash. They're located on Skyland Boulevard right next door to Alabama 1, or you can find them online at overflowexpresswash.com. Andy Phillips and his team look forward to making you a part of their team.
Have you been hanging on to a bunch of old paper in your home or office? Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, the Better Business Bureau, and the Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama present Shred Day, Friday, April 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Load your paper, bring it in boxes or a container, and we will shred it for free while you wait. Shred Day is limited to paper only, no electronics, and 2 containers. Shred Day, Friday, April 9th, conveniently located in the old McFarland Mall parking lot at 900 Skyland Boulevard East in Tuscaloosa from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Nick Saban calls it the process. John Maxwell said that everything rises and falls on it. And Coach Wooden said it's what you learn after you think you know it all that makes the difference. What am I talking about? Leadership and personal development. Is your organization, your school, your church, your family, are they receiving the proper level of leadership development and personal development? If not, the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring can help you with that. We have our Pep Talks, which is a 1 to 1.5 hour lunch and learn which we can customize to meet your needs, or we have some topics that we present that we know can help your organization. And if you're looking for one-on-one mentoring and coaching, we can also assist you with that. Visit peptalks35.com. That's peptalks35.com, or send an email to martin@martinhouston.org. That's the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
All right, Martin, you're hot in 3, 2, 1.
We're back in with the Martin Houston Show. Glad to have you with us as we move right along this morning, talking Alabama basketball a little earlier. Big news from Nate Oates in the Alabama Crimson Tide as they get the commitment. The shoe finally drops as the young man Charles Bediako, 6'11". Some polls have him rated 4-star, 5-star. It doesn't matter. One of the top rated players in the country coming to Alabama. Regardless of what he's rated, he was good enough to move Alabama from the low teens in the ranking to the number 3 overall class, falling only behind Michigan and Florida State at this time, leapfrogging Duke into the number 3 spot. So big time news, Joe, from Alabama. When you start looking at this team, the way too early polls, the more traditional ones have them ranked anywhere from 3 to I think the lowest of these is showing up is 8. The Washington Post, kind of an outlier, had them at number 1, but CBS Sports has them as number 3. Sports Illustrated has them at number 9. 247 Sports had them at number 7. Then all of the following have them at number 8. USA Today, ESPN, Stadium, The Athletic, all having Alabama. But no one has this team below a top 10 team. And with the return of, Primo and Quinterly and Ellis, Rojas and Jawan Gary, they needed to add a big guy, and they already had one on the team. And of course, Joe, you tried to teach me how to say his name, but Alex Chiku. I was close. Chiku, at 6'11", 4-star from last year. Bediako, a 6'11". They added the big men, hopefully who can be rim protectors and have a decent shot around the 3 and away from the basket. But could that be the missing piece to Alabama, getting to that Elite 8 Final Four, Joe, in terms of this basketball team? Was this the next step and the next piece for Alabama? Because they also, we're talking about him being added. He's joining J.D. Davison, the number 9 overall player in the country, the top point guard, as well as Usain Holt and 4-star forward. A wingman, and then Langston Wilson, forward. So that was already a pretty good class with Bediako. If these guys are able to come in and contribute as freshmen, is the hype around Alabama basketball legit, and will it be absolutely crazy at the beginning of the season next year?
Yeah, I think the hype is certainly legit. It's going to stink to lose Petty and Herb Jones and Alex Reese for sure. But when's the last time Alabama had a number 3, a top 5 overall recruiting class in basketball?
Have they ever?
That's a great question. I'm not a historian up on that, but not in my memory. My memory only really goes back about 10, 12 years. But having a top 3 class, and you still have Jaden Shackelford, you still got Josh Primo, the guy your premier player in last year's recruiting class. You've got Javon Quinterly. So, like, you have a ton of weapons. And just like you said, you've got Bediako, and now Chiku will come back from injury. So the two of them will be kind of probably rotating in that big spot. And we've got a bunch of guys, if we want to, quote unquote, go small at about 6'5", 6'6". Not sure that's how small that is. But I think the hype is warranted, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It'll be interesting to follow. Let's see what Tom has to say. Tom, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, man?
Good morning, Mark. How
Good
are y'all
morning.
this morning?
Doing good, sir. And you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. You know, our conversation yesterday with DC and yourself, you brought up, I thought, probably the biggest point for me in that conversation, and that was the lack of rim protection that we had this year. And my comment was yesterday about how elite some of these defenses were.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking about what you said. Had we had those kids at 6'11" that we could rotate in and out with that defense we had, and had a presence of rim protection, I think that's the ingredient that we were missing. But with yesterday, is it Bediako? Is that who?
Bediako, yes, sir. Bediako.
And then the young man that got hurt. Both of them are 6'11", 6'10", 6'11". And, you know, the thing with them was that you could go small and they can still play in that kind of lineup because they run so well. So I was just going to say to you that what you thought we were missing looks like we got two of now.
Yep, absolutely. And that's what the point I was I had said. I don't know if you.
Great point.
Yeah, I had not. I don't know if you had heard me before. DC got on. I said that what we saw in Baylor is a precursor of what I think Nate Oates wants to be able to do to a certain degree. In other words, when I say three guards, we've had three guards on the court because Primo would be out there at times, but I think it's 3-point guards. The ability to have, Shackelford, Quinterly, and J.D. Davison from a true ball handling point guard standpoint, with then having a Primo could even slide over and play the 4, and then you have a 6'11" rim protector. Do you know how much space? That's what Baylor did to Gonzaga. Man, that they would trap, but they were so fast that they could recover. It looked like a guy would be wide open, and by the time the ball got there, the help defense would shift, and they would pick up the next guy. Their defense, whoever coaches defense at Baylor and UCLA, if Alabama will go visit those guys and then be able to bring that back, and I'm not saying that Nate Oates doesn't coach defense like that, but they showed how to shut down or slow down a big-time offense. I mean, 76 points usually will win a game, but not so much when the other team is an offensive weapon like Baylor and their defense is just as elite.
Well, I was going to tell you this. Wendell Hudson was on with Coach Sanderson and Barry the day before yesterday. And he lived, I think, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere near Waco. Experience and observation with Baylor. And he said the exact same thing day before yesterday. And then Gary had coach, the basketball coach from down at Hillcrest. I know his name as well as I know my own name.
Scott Suttles.
Yeah, him. And I think one of the best basketball coaches in the state of Alabama, in my opinion. And but he explained he's Gonzaga's coach, and he understands how Gonzaga plays. And but he explained how Baylor was able to keep that ball from being reversed when they were on defense. And those two men right there, they enlightened me, and they were kind of on the bandwagon of what you're saying of being able to protect the rim. But anyway, they were great guests, and they explained what was going on in that championship game. Wendell Hudson, before the championship game, explained it. And then Coach Scott explained it after, what we saw, and explained how they did it. It was very interesting, but it all came down to what your point about being able to protect the rim. And
well,
I don't know why I called in to ramble.
No, you're not rambling, Tom.
But those two guys right there, I've always liked the coach at Hillcrest. I think he's out of this world.
Absolutely.
As far as the coach. And and then Wendell Hudson, he's an icon to people like me.
Yeah.
So anyway, they had basically the same take.
Yep, and Tom, I'll close with this, and I appreciate the call. You're not rambling; you're just talking about what you saw. They cut the lanes off. They cut the passing lanes off, and think about this. There's a bunch of different highways out there. Tom, but the reality of it is there's only certain ways you can get to certain places by taking certain highways, right? Well, when you set up an offense, when a guy's in the corner, there's certain passes in lanes that he's going to try to get the ball out of that corner. And if you know what those lanes are, you can cut them off, or you can jump.
You're fast enough.
And that's it. So, yeah. All right.
I see you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Tom. Call back tomorrow. We'll pick up some more conversation. Hey, let's go ahead and get the break here so we can get to Scotty Hollins, Executive Director of Blueprint Ministries, presented by Johnson & Marshall Dentistry. Great conversation, but we have to get to the next one right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, we got a wreck on US 11 southbound before Alabama 215 at Cottondale. You can expect some delays. No other problems. If you do see conditions, just give us a call. 205-686. Where are the best deals? There at Townsend Nissan, your hometown dealer. One today. I'm Captain Ray.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good morning. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall has honored fallen Tuscaloosa police investigator Darnell Cousette. During a ceremony at Tuscaloosa, presented Cousette's family with a commemoration of his service and sacrifice. He was shot to death while attempting to serve a warrant on a wanted felon. And 29 Tuscaloosa City school employees are getting a one-time retention supplement. The school approved it at their board meeting last night. It's $400. I'm Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. If you're looking for a way to add value to your home, make your flower beds pop, make your landscaping stand out from your neighbors, then Tuscaloosa Curbing can help you do just that. They have numerous styles, but they feature the Moroccan Stone Curb series, which includes 4 great styles and unlimited color choices. That's Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. They are the one that can help you stand out from your neighbors. Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing, 205-331-6823. You may also find yourself with the need for a custom size stone or custom shaped stone. Then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help with that as well. Paul Fuller and his team are waiting on your call right now for that free quote. And if you tell them that Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show told you to stop by, you'll get a big discount. So call Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing at 205-331-6823 or visit them online at Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing, LLC.
At Northport Auto Supply, we understand there's nothing worse than a dead battery. So to keep this from happening, be sure you periodically check your battery, including the terminals for corrosion. And if you ever need help, Then come by Northport Auto Supply and let our knowledgeable professionals check your battery for free. Northport Auto Supply has the area's of batteries in stock, and we'll even install it for you at no charge.
Northport Auto Supply. Why go anywhere else?
Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa. Quality is number one. You got to start with a good quality product, but it's got to be at a good value to the customers.
Everything is about quality.
You just can't beat the quality, taste, value.
It's because we take pride in providing you with the best.
Good customer service and good quality.
We want to make sure that we give that to them each and every time they visit us.
The sense of pride that we have, the consistency of our food carries over to everything we do in the stores. That's Taco Casa.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 on the Tide 100.9 app.
You go, Martin. You're hot in 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. It's now time for Johnson & Marshall Dentistry Christian Moment of the Week. You can find them at dentisttuscaloosa.com. That's dentisttuscaloosa.com. 601 Hargrove Road, East Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 35401. Or give them a call at 205-349-1000. You're going to have a healthy mouth, a smile that's going to last a lifetime, and they are changing lives one smile at a time. And they present Executive Director of Blueprint Ministry, Scotty Hollins. Good morning, Scotty. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, Martin. I'm doing great. And how about you?
Doing well. I'm going to toss it to you so you can encourage us how to incorporate our faith into the boardroom, the classroom, or our chosen field of play, teaching us, once again, how to finish strong.
All right, Martin. We're going to continue with Hebrews 12 on how do we finish strong. And so just a quick review. We've looked at really three parts of this passage. We're now looking at the fourth part of it. The first part, let me just say the whole passage is, and it's the author of Hebrews writing to a group of people who were struggling with finishing strong. They were just beginning to go through the motions. They were beginning to coast. You ever had a little senioritis, Martin? You ever gotten those feelings back in the day in high school and college, kind of get towards the end, like, I just want to coast to the finish line?
Yes.
So they're having that. They're having those feelings, but it's about their faith. It's about just living life off the throne, living a submitted life, and just beginning to go through the motions. And so the author of Hebrews gives them this message. It's so strong because it's one verse. And first thing he says is, therefore, since we're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, he says, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily entangles us. And he says, let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. 4 points in that one passage. First thing is, remember the great cloud of witnesses. Remember those who have run the race before us, who've gone through difficult things, who have had the same senioritis, if you will, but didn't give up. They persevered. They fought. It was by faith and trust in the Lord, and he gave them the strength to finish. And the message is, if they finish strong, then we can too. And then you look at laying aside the weight, not allowing anything, taking personal inventory, not allowing anything in your personal life or just in your life in general to be a weight that slows you down from finishing strong. The other one is running with endurance. And when you get a message to run with endurance, Martin, we talked about this last week, that presupposes that at least two things. One, the race is not going to be easy. And two, the race is not going to be short. It's going to be a long, hard race. So we got to run with endurance. Here's the message for today. Run with it. He says, therefore, since we're surrounded, blah, 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 surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily entangles us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Let's talk about the race that is set before us. And so when you think about this, we have each of us has a race that is set before us. We have our own individual race. But as believers, we have a common race. And that common race is, as we have surrendered our lives to Christ, we have surrendered the throne to him. So we no longer sit on the throne. So the common race that we all believers should be focused on and not distracted by all the things to the left and to the right, all the different things that are happening in terms of maybe things that would lure us in different directions. We should be focused on one thing, living life off the throne, living a life submitted to him. So the message is, hey, run the race that's set before you. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Just focus on the race front of you. But listen, each one of us has a unique race. Martin, your unique race has you doing an amazing radio show each morning. The race that God has for me has me doing something totally different. But both of us are focused on the race that God has set before us. If you're having a problem identifying that race, if you're young, high school or college, or even, hey, a little bit older and say, I'm trying to figure out, what does God want me to do? Let me give you 5 things that have helped me over the years and that I share with some of our athletes that help them. It's called SHAPE. It's an acrostic. You may have heard of it before. It's called SHAPE. The first thing is, especially for believers, is how's God, the S stands for spiritual gifts. Like, how's God gifted you spiritually? Like, is it leadership? Is it serving? Is it, just, you look at that list of spiritual leadership and you say, which of these spiritual leadership gifts, which of these things do I do with the least amount of effort and the maximum amount of joy? And maybe you honed in on what he wants you to do. So the S is for spiritual gifts. The H is for heart. What do you want to do? Like, what do you really have a passion for that you do for free? That's the H. The A is for abilities. What natural abilities, not spiritual gifts, but what natural abilities do you have? Are you good with your hands? Can you sing? What? And then the P is for personality. How has God shaped you there? And then the E is for experiences. You put all those together, and guess what? You will be able to hone in on the race that God has set before you individually.
That is so good. And I add one quick thing about throw off the weight. Some of you may have to throw off some weight. As a football player, the weight that you have is for that race. But once you finish, your weight could totally change. And some of you are in new seasons of life, but you're still trying to hold same old friends and same old ways. That's why you're not moving forward. So I just felt that in my spirit while you were talking, Scotty. And hey, man, let's come back to this if you don't mind, because I want you to dig a little deeper on that shape for next week. Hey, tell our listeners what you got for them.
Yeah, you can find me on www.blueprinttuscaloosa.com. Send me a message on my website, which I'm straight to my email.
All right, that is Scotty Hollins, Blueprint Ministries. Get in today. Go back and listen to what all that means, but it is definitely life-changing if you do it. Thank you, Scotty. We'll catch up with you next week. I'm Martin Houston. This is the Martin Houston Show, the Sound of Bama Sports, your show, your team. That's Joe Gaither, pressing all the right buttons. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, chatters, communicators. And remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports.
Thanks, Martin. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks, man.
And streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Tide 100.9 traffic.